All right, who's the next dude?
You have your little AI ready. This guy.
Hold on, Jules. My girlfriend's texting me. You know, I got to answer. I want to be a good dude, okay?
He's a good dude.
I'm a good dude.
Tell Camille I said hello.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Guess what she's doing?
What?
So it's the 10-year anniversary for the Super Bowl that we won versus Seattle Seahawks.
And you know who we're doing right now next?
Oh, my gosh. Who are we doing next?
We're doing Seattle.
Wow. And guess what Camille just texted me?
Richard Sherman.
That she's literally crying right now while practicing because she misses dance so much because they're bringing back the cheerleaders do a halftime dance routine that they did at the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah, sorry, Richard Sherman. You're not a back-to-back champ because of us. Sorry, boy. Are you mad about it? Is he mad?
He's
Is
mad,
he mad, bro?
He's not mad, bro.
Is he mad, bro?
No, but
is he mad, bro?
what does AI say about our guy?
Allen Iverson. Smart man. He can just read a freaking everything on the internet in a matter of 10 seconds. I always knew AI was the best of all time.
He's the answer.
He is the answer.
Let's get on Richard Sherman.
Wow. He was so good that he covers this whole page.
He does. He's a Stanford guy.
Richard Sherman is known for being a highly skilled and physical cornerback. Renowned. They use this word too much in AI. Renowned.
Renowned.
For his exceptional coverage skills, intelligence, and ability to read plays. Sherman was a key figure in the Seattle Seahawks Legion of Boom defense. His lengthy frame and aggressive playing style made him a formidable opponent in both man-to-man and zone coverage. Right? Formidable, Jules? For dudes on dudes. I mean, if I say something wrong, correct me. That's what freaking good dudes. That's what friends do, okay? That's what friends do.
I don't know how to read either.
Sherman's leadership, trash talking. He trash talked?
He definitely trash talked. You mad, bro?
And ability to make crucial plays in high-pressure situations contributed.
Made a lot of those.
Yes, he did.
Made a lot of those.
We were just watching his highlight film, man. Woo! Did I forget how good he was?
You
his
forget.
Ball skills. So let me finish.
All right.
Always just cutting me off. To make crucial plays in high-pressure situations contributed to his reputation as one of the top cornerbacks of his era. I agree with AI.
I agree with AI. Richard Sherman, we watched the highlights before we did this, and you forgot how many great plays he made. Because that cast of characters, the Legion of Boom, he was a part of it, and there were so many good guys. But then we watched those highlights. His ball skills, he used to run routes for the receiver because he was so smart. Like, he's situationally one of the most intelligent corners. You could never throw a downfield ball against him. Like, that was like what I always remember. He was a gambler because he'd always have those eyes in the backfield. Like, he was one of those original guys where he'd play off and have his eyes in the backfield, and then he'd break on the guy. Like, Richard, and then he'd always have the hands. Like, he had unbelievable ball skills in order to finish the plays. And, you know, he just was a freaking stud. And he used to hit. What do you think?
I would, if I was a young cornerback, I would give Richard Sherman a call and ask him where he learned those ball skills.
Yeah.
How does he track down a ball like that and make it, you know, and have an interception and make it look easier than a wide receiver?
Well, he was a receiver in Stanford.
Well, that answers my question. All you cornerbacks out there, they need to do more ball drills.
Ball drills.
I say it all the time. There would be literally like 2 or 3 more interceptions per game if these cornerbacks knew how to catch the ball. And Richard Sherman knew how to catch the ball, and that's why he made so many plays, and that's why he led the league in interceptions some years. So what year was that again? He definitely led the league, right?
2013.
Yes.
They won the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah, they did, and that's part of the reason why they won the Super Bowl. He was a literal genius of the game because he played wide receiver in college. He went to Stanford University, so obviously he's smart.
Smart guy.
You got to be a smart guy to go to Stanford. All my friends that went to Stanford, Pac-10 guy as well. So
Pac-10.
Shout out to the Pac-10.
4.2 GPA in high school.
4.2 GPA. Who was he cheating off? Come on. 4.2. I thought it only goes up to 4.0. How do you get a 4.2?
I think there's advanced classes that count as a 5.0.
Well, makes no sense.
I agree.
I never knew about those ones. Advanced classes?
Wasn't there either, Rob.
That's why we have a podcast.
And that's why.
That is why.
Would you beat him in a math competition?
I would. I'm that good at math. Come on. Give me a math problem right now.
46 times 20.
Oh, my gosh. 920?
Yep.
Oh, Richard
Was it 920?
Yeah, he would still be thinking. Richard Sherman would still be thinking.
He'd be talking shit.
You'd be talking shit where I would have probably been thrown off my game, and then he would have thrown out the answer. Yeah.
That's how smart he is, where he would have talked shit and been able to calculate and multitask and then do it. Like, that's the kind of guy he was. I remember we played against him in the Super Bowl, and we jawed back and forth. And it's out of fun competition, but you knew, like, when you were stepping in a game with Richard Sherman, you knew if you were going to be lazy or if your route wasn't there, he was going to cover you, and he was going to let you know that he covered you.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the fun guys. He was a freaking monster. Like, you watch just the interceptions he made, his high pointing of ball skills, that AFC Championship game where he tipped it from Crabtree in the last 30 seconds or 23 seconds, 32 seconds.
One of the most impressive plays I've ever seen a cornerback make.
In a high pressure situation when his team
that was for
needed
the
it.
game.
That was for the game.
That was to go to the Super Bowl.
That was to go to the Super Bowl. He had a lot of those.
And what made him so great, made him stand out from any other cornerback, was his height and his length.
He was 6'4".
He was kind of like Randy Moss, but as a cornerback.
And he had good hands, to combat
great ball skills,
but to combat the quick guys, to get him running side and side, because he was so, he's long. That's how you got to get those kind of corners. You got to make him run side to side. He had such long, great arms where he could play at the line of scrimmage. He'd win at the line of scrimmage.
He had football IQ. What about his physicality? Was there a play I remember just watching him? I think Des Bryant broke off for a 50-yarder he was about to score, and I'm pretty sure it was Des Bryant. And he was in back of the end zone, guarding his guy, because, manned him up. That's why the ball went to Des Bryant. They should have had him on Des all game, actually. He came out of back of the end zone off of his guy, and literally Des Bryant was 1 yard away from scoring.
About to go in.
Richard Sherman came out of nowhere and just laid the hit stick and made him fumble right on the 1 yard line. That just showed how physical and how much he just laid his body out on the line for the team.
And also not to quit on a play. The play could have been over. Des Bryant could have easily just gone in. And Richard said, technically he won his play. His guy was guarded. His guy didn't catch the ball. But to come off his plaster and to make the hit at the end goal lines, it was you saw those plays all the time with Richard Sherman. He never gave up on plays. He was smarter than you. He was longer than you, and he could talk better than you.
And he had leadership. He was always vocal, very vocal. But the thing is, he backed it up every single time. He always said he's the best corner in the game, which he was throughout that era, but he backed it up, and that's what
Reeve?
That's what Reeve was a little bit before him. He was right at the end of Revis Island era.
Yeah.
So Revis was in his own category, and then it was Richard Sherman. Two totally different players. Two totally different skill sets. But hey, Jules, you remember when you trolled him?
I
trolled
do.
Sherman, the
I
Shermanator?
do.
Can you explain what happened and why you did it?
The parade after we played him in 14, we won. Someone threw up a sign of with the face after the interception. And, you're just playing up to the parade, having fun. I fucking threw it. I was hammered. It was all fun and games until someone gets hurt.
But no one got hurt.
And
you were hammered, so that's an excuse. It was a parade. Anything goes. We just beat him in the Super Bowl, and Richard Sherman loves talking crap, but he can take it as well.
I think he can.
I know the guy now personally.
I've talked to him a few times through Carissa Thompson, because she does all the Amazon, and he's always been a really cool dude.
He's doing a great job as an analyst.
I think so, too. He's really good.
A lot of insight to the game, especially at the corner position. He's not scared to be himself at all either. Never
has been, and it was throughout his career. And just with a guy like him, you had to play hard the whole game. If you turned it off, he would smother you. He'd make that pick.
If he saw Tom just slack a little bit in the pocket, he would be able to read him just like that.
Because he played with his eyes in the backfield. He liked to play off that Seattle 6, where it was like a matched zone, so he could play off, and he would see, and he would read the quarterbacks, and he'd come sloop on those seams and come steal them.
Last piece, though, I played with Richard Sherman my final year with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Unfortunately, he was at the end of his career. He was a little washed like myself. He showed up. We had 8 corners down. We gave him a call. He showed up, and I'm so glad he did, man. And I finally, got to meet him in person and talk to him. He pulled his hamstring. I remember I had broken ribs, so we were reminiscing together about facing each other. And what a great guy he was, man. Great leader. Great guy to have in the locker room, that's for sure. He's got tons of positive energy.
He's a guy you love on your team, but you hate him when he's not
exactly.
on your team.
He wasn't even playing. He went on the IR, and every time I walked in the locker room, I'm like, I love Shermanator is on our team.
Yeah.
That's how great he was, man. He just always chopping it up and always being a character. I love the guy. Whenever I see him too, great dude. 10 minutes.
10 minutes. What kind of dude is Richard Sherman?
What kind of dude? I mean, he was freaky. He was like a Randy Moss. Is he a stud, dog? Whiz?
Is he a whiz?
He's kind of everything, man, because he went to Stanford, so he's a whiz. He was a dog with those hits.
He was innovative
as well.
Because I think he hits that whiz category because his intellect was second to none. Like him and Revis are in that same category where they could run routes.
Yeah, he was kind of a dog though too.
He was a dog because he was relentless and motivated, always physically. But he talked to you.
I kind of want to go with Wiz though, just because he went to Stanford.
He went to Stanford. He was clutch. The Wiz is always clutch. The Wiz is someone who innovates. They changed the position. The position used to be a guy that was probably no bigger than 6 foot, 6'1". I mean, those were huge corners back before him. He was 6'4". He evolved the position, especially in that Seattle system. He had him and Browner. They love those tall corners, and he's a huge part of that. Which that's how you take away those big receivers on the outside. You put a big guy like Sherman on him, and they let him battle.
And that's why the Legion of Boom was such a great defense as well. I would say that he was the leader of Legion of Boom
over Chancellor.
Yeah, over Chancellor. Chancellor was the guy that laid the smackdown.
He smacked.
He smacked. I think, he was the wizard of the Legion of Boom. Same with Earl Thomas. I mean, he was a rocket, a torpedo.
Torpedo.
He laid the smackdown. He laid the smackdown on me a few times, but Richard Sherman was the wizard. I feel like he got that, secondary in position, and also why he had so many interceptions and why he was such a great corner is because he knew how to play the game of football in zone coverage and man coverage because he was so freaking smart.
He's a whiz.
He is a whiz. He's a whiz kid.